Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from Sky News Australia, and it's titled Douglas Murray calls out ridiculous piece in The Guardian over Elon Musk. You guys, I'm super excited for this, and without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Now, along with yourself, the other great enemy of the left right now appears to be Elon Musk, particularly amongst the political media activist class. Look at this deranged piece in The Guardian, where else, with the headline, "You know who else should be on trial for the UK's far-right riots? Elon Musk." That was the headline, and the piece goes on to call Musk one of the world's most prolific enemies of truth. This assault against free speech in the UK is really quite sinister, and I've got to say effective. Of course, it's not going to silence the likes of Elon Musk, but the average person may refrain from posting something on their Facebook page when they see people being arrested for online posts for things that are considered offensive, not just threatening or abusive, but just offensive. It seems to be a line that you can't cross.
Yeah, absolutely, including retweeting videos of things that have happened. The interesting thing about Jonathan Freedland of The Guardian, he's a very obscure figure. He's not at all known outside of a small amount of the left wing in the UK. But of course, to think that somebody like him would have the audacity to claim that the British authorities should arrest an American citizen. I mean, I don't know if Jonathan Freedland knows his history. I assume he does. He's a relatively intelligent man. But he should know that America fought quite a significant war in order that American citizens would not, in fact, be under the writ of British law. And thank goodness Elon Musk isn't. And thank goodness he has the guts to continue, like a number of the rest of us, to say what is the truth. The interesting thing, by the way, about two things to say about Jonathan Freedland in this ridiculous piece. One is that Jonathan Freedland actually, after noticing the success of the Da Vinci Code and other sort of rather low boilerplate novels, started writing novels himself under a pseudonym. And one of them, published in 2017, is an extended wet dream about the idea of the assassination of President Trump. It's extremely open. That's the only skill of the book, such as it is that it's an excitable book for people who would have loved to see Donald Trump getting assassinated. On that principle, of course, perhaps the American authorities ought to ask for the extradition of Jonathan Freedland for writing a crappy genre novel under a pseudonym in which he dreams of the assassination of President Trump. Of course, it would be ridiculous to do so because nobody would read his book. But the other thing to be said about these people is that they just have this totalitarian, authoritarian instinct, which they just can't get rid of. They think everything should always go their way. They think they should be the censors of the town square. And the reason why you see so much of the media running against Elon Musk at the moment is that they recognize that his platform, Twitter, is beating all of them, or most of them, in all of the stakes of media absorption around the world. And that's very scary for some of these old media who can't keep up and don't have very many readers, like The Guardian. But, you know, it is a very important thing you mentioned there, Rita, that in actual fact, and Rowan Atkinson, no less, said this in a speech 11 years ago, it's perfectly possible, you see, that people like me, billionaires like Elon Musk, will be able to get through this era and will survive it. And I certainly plan to, and I'm sure and know that Musk does as well. But what about, as you say, the person who does not have the platform that I have or the means that Elon Musk has? What about them when, as is happening all the time at the moment in the UK, police forces that have not solved one burglary, yes, you heard that right, not one burglary in recent years, are knocking on people's doors and arresting them for Facebook posts, for retweeting things? Sure, there are some people who've said some horrible things and disgraceful things in recent weeks, but oh my, the priorities of the British police. You know, they are really treading into very, very dangerous Orwellian waters. It turns out, and the rest of the public in Britain can't trust them to solve a burglary. Would I trust them to police my speech? No, I don't think so.
Wow, you guys, what are your thoughts on this video? I totally agree with Douglas Murray on this. The reason why The Guardian and other mainstream media are writing ridiculous things about Elon Musk is the fact that his S platform is one of the leading platforms in the world. And most people these days don't even go to the mainstream media to look for information, but rather they fully depend on most of the social media platforms for verified information. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. One thing I like most about Douglas Murray is that he doesn't hold back, but rather he will hit the nail on the head and say the truth as it is. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let's continue watching, you guys.
No. And the treatment you're receiving, the treatment Elon Musk is receiving is what Donald Trump has been copying for some years now. And his 2-hour chat with Elon Musk had a lot of the media triggered. It did reach an enormous audience despite having technical issues at the start. But look at some of the media coverage we were treated to. This is from USA Today. Starts with this line: for a fascism curious billionaire who loves cuddling up to right-wing loons. I mean, and it got progressively worse from there, Douglas. Trump's called the media the enemy of the people. And sadly, it seems there are many in the industry who seem desperate to live up to that tag.
I mean, these are just dying entities. I mean, USA Today is such a failing newspaper. It's as thin as a loo roll, and it's just an unbelievable rag now, and almost no information in it unless you want to follow the baseball, which lots of people do. But in terms of news, it's just the worst possible way to absorb news. But they just have an agenda, and they just show it more and more. They describe Elon Musk as a fascist. They describe the former president of the United States, maybe the next president, as just a right-wing loon. And you know, these people, you can write their headlines and their articles before the event occurs, and I'm sure some of these people do. I bet that guy decided to do that. And you know, of course, they don't point out that it seems, whatever your criticisms of Donald Trump, he did this very lengthy conversation with Elon Musk. It's rather more than we've seen from Kamala Harris in recent weeks. But of course, they don't mention that. They don't note that because it's just the backing chorus of the Democratic Party. That's all these dying media brands are. The public can see it for what it's worth. And if you want a little bit of dying left-wing media commentary with your baseball results, I suppose you can go to USA Today. But it turns out most of the world is going to X, Twitter.
Well, the reach of that interview is astonishing, unlike really anything you see elsewhere. Now, I want to, before you go, play you a little clip from the Stephen Colbert Show featuring CNN anchor Caitlin Collins. What is curious here, or, well, pleasing, is the crowd reaction when Colbert makes this claim.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes a... I know
that's supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
Douglas, even his leftist crowd just burst out laughing at that claim that CNN just reports the news. They're just straight down the line, unbiased. And this... diminishing trust in institutions, including the media, the police we've spoken about, and judiciary increasingly. It's not healthy, but I think in a way it is healthy that people are actually getting awareness of some of the double standards that exist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this institutional distrust is, as I said to you before, Rita, we've discussed this, it's about the fact the public can see through these institutions. If a police force doesn't solve burglary, doesn't even go to the scene of a crime, but it does go for a Twitter X post, you know there's a problem of priorities in the police force. Likewise, in the media, when you see the coverage of things like CNN, it's not just that it's biased in its stance. Not everything, by the way. Occasionally, there's something on CNN that's relatively good and relatively impartial. But the thing is, but what they actually what gives it away time and again is what they choose to focus on. They choose to focus on things that boost the narrative that they have, whether that's foreign policy, whether it's the war in Ukraine or the war in Israel and Gaza, or whether it's things domestically, whether it's just puffing up their candidate to get her into office in November. And I was delighted to see that. I mean, I just can't watch Stephen Colbert most of the time. Almost nobody does. But I mean, he started off as a comedian. Now he's just become one of these sermonizers, boring sermonizers of the American left in what used to be late night comedy slots. But it was wonderful to see that his audience was wiser than he was and knew more than he did and laughed in the face of the idea that CNN simply attempts to report the truth.
It was the best moment of the whole interview, and unintentionally funny. Douglas Murray, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Great pleasure as always.
Wow, you guys, what are your thoughts on this video? I love how the audience started laughing, because anyone who thinks that CNN tends to report the truth is absolutely insane and doesn't even know what he or she is thinking. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. As always, Douglas Murray has hit the nail on the head and has exposed both the Guardian and the US Today, because these people are actually jealous of Elon Musk's platform, which so many people are using today. And I don't know who is going to US Today or the Guardian to look for information. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed every minute of this video, and I believe you guys also enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.